Welcome gamers, Critical Blindside here with another Talk and Play. Today we'll be talking about Steam OS, Steam boxes, Steam machines, everything Steam related, especially the hardware that will be coming out in 2014. Whether or not you can expect anything that you would want to actually buy, and what it means kind of for PC gaming in the next year. As you know, about a month ago it was released that all these companies were on board for making the hardware for the Steam machines, and it will be running a custom Linux distribution of what's called Steam OS, and that will be the actual operating system it runs on, which brings up some questions about game compatibility that I'll answer soon. Some of these companies have made boxes that are anything from $200 or $300 to $2,000, and I'm here to kind of wade through all the mess and bring you something condensed that you can actually see whether or not that's something you want or not. And the game I'm playing today is Guacamelee. If you haven't heard of Guacamelee, that is definitely your fault. This is one of the best games that was released in 2013, indie or not, and definitely probably the best indie game. It's very addictive. It's very funny. The characters are very cool and very, very likable. The edition I'm playing is the Gold Edition that was in, again, the Humble Bundle that I've been talking about in my last couple videos. The Gold Edition brings together a few pieces of DLC that add about an hour to an hour and a half worth of actual playtime. One notable DLC is the Devil's Playground, which that's definitely my favorite. It definitely adds to the game. The premise of the game is you play as Juan, the undead luchador, and you kind of just go around beating things up, and you do some platforming and some light puzzle solving. It's just you kind of get lost in the game, and you just find yourself playing for an hour or two, and then it becomes 3 or 4 hours, and you just get lost in it. And any good game, I think, has that characteristic, and this one definitely does. Definitely pick it up. We need to support games like this, these high-quality, kind of smaller, developed games. I think it's extremely important that we, as a gaming community, show that these are the type of games that we want. We don't need these movie license cash-ins or any franchise reboot cash-ins, anything like that. We want quality, original games that don't necessarily have to be from major studios. We can have just as much fun from a smaller kind of an independent developer with a game like this than we can with some stupid Thor or Iron Man movie cash-in game. That'll be enough of my little rant on what we need to do as gamers to support developers like these, but really, definitely pick it up if it's on sale. Even if it's not on sale, it's definitely worth the money, and let's get behind games like this. So taking a break from the gameplay for just a moment, you'll notice on the screen is some of the versions of the Steam boxes made from various companies. These companies range from Zotac to Alienware to pretty much any major custom PC builder. And they also range in price. They range in from everything looking from an actual little box to a sleeker, sexier iDevice. So it really is something for everybody here, whether or not you want it to be an addition to your living room or you want it to be kind of your main PC gaming platform. There really is a box for everyone. And I think therein lies a strength and a weakness. And most of the people who don't already know about PC gaming or they don't already have some sort of gaming rig, let's just say they're not super into these things. So whenever they see all of these specs, all these different versions, I think at first they're kind of taken back a little bit and they don't really know what they're looking at, and they see all these specs and they don't know what to get. So whenever the Steam boxes were released, it was said that they were going to have a low, medium, and high version. So a low version would be your entry-level version. The medium would be something a little bit better. You sink some more money into it, you can do more things. And then the high-end version would be all-out gaming rig that could do anything that you want to do with it. So I think this was an excellent idea, and it really showed where their vision was. And it was for the people who do not have a PC already, and it was something easy and streamlined to where they didn't have to worry about all these specs and all these things that, complicate the PC gaming platform. But I don't know where that got lost at. Now they don't have that. They have a box for everybody. And like I said, that is a benefit for some people, but for others who don't know about all this stuff and just maybe want to try the PC market, it's a lot of stuff to take in and it's a lot of stuff to consider. You almost have to become a PC gamer just to know about all of these different stats and about all these different specifications, and will it be out of date in 2 years? Can it play this game? What can I expect from it? Which is why I think some of it is going to fail, because why would people buy this over an Xbox One or a PS4? Those things do what they do out of the box. You don't have to worry about any of them. And when you go for a Steam box, when you don't know a whole lot, you are not guaranteed that it will do X or it will do Y. You're kind of hoping it will, and you're kind of going on what other people have told you. So I think that this definitely kind of needs to be refined a little bit for people who don't know a whole lot about PC gaming. And let's face it, Steam does not do a whole lot of advertising. They don't try to get Steam to be a worldwide thing, even though it is. So the kind of people who don't know about these Steam boxes are the type of people they're marketing to. So they're marketing for people who don't know a whole lot about PC gaming and maybe just want to try it, or their friends do it and they want to get involved. And then the other market is the living room market. So it's kind of what Xbox is doing, to where they are dominating the living room. Their Xbox wants to be a center point in your living room, to where everything converges through the Xbox, and that way the Xbox stays relevant. It stays in the forefront of people's minds, and the whole family uses it. And that's kind of what some of these Steam boxes are going for. They're not going for total gaming dominance. They're going for kind of an addition. Let's say I have a gaming rig in my room. That's where I do most of my PC gaming, and I have a wife and child, and let's say I want to have like a game night. I would buy one of these smaller or lower end Steam boxes, throw it on my high-def TV. Now I can play a decent amount of video games with the family out in the living room. I get out of my dungeon and we do some gaming together. That, I think, is the biggest selling point for a Steam box. It's just an addition to what you currently already have. And in the future, we will have some streaming things to where you can stream what's going on from your main rig to a TV, and I think that will be exciting. But for now, we have this solution. So it's kind of like replacing what the Xbox does, but with Steam. So there, I think, lies the biggest selling point that Steam boxes could have. What I don't get is some of these $2,000 machines. Who wants to spend $2,000 on a Steam OS box that doesn't already have some sort of gaming rig? So if you want to spend that much money, 2 seconds of searching will show you that for that money that you're sinking into that Steam box, you can get a better machine and you can build it yourself. Now, if you don't want to build it yourself, you're going to spend about the same amount of money you would for a regular rig or something like that. But I just can't see who these $2,000 machines are marketed to. The people who don't know about it aren't going to buy something that expensive, and the people who do know about it already have something like that, or they're in the process of building, or they're not going to go for a Steam box. So this is where it's confusing me. I don't know why some of these boxes are so expensive. I mean, I know why they are, because they have really good equipment in them, but I don't know who they're marketed for. And then there's compatibility. One of the major drawbacks of the Steam OS is that it is Linux, and for now, there's a whopping 338 games that run on Linux in the Steam library. And that's compared to a whopping 708 that run on Mac, which that pales into comparison with the thousands upon thousands that run natively on Windows. So, is there some sort of application that's going to provide compatibility with all those Windows games you've bought? No. It's all on the developer. Steam is pushing developers to actively develop for the Linux platform, but as a developer, you're already crammed enough making your game. And usually these games are ported over from Xbox or PlayStation, and just porting it over to the PC on Windows is a large enough endeavor. Then you're going to do it to Mac, which is the next most popular platform, and then you're going to port it over to Linux. So I really don't see this being a huge thing. And you're going to, as a SteamOS user, you're going to miss out on pretty much 65 to 70% of the games you've already bought because, one, they're no longer being developed, and if they are, they're not going to be ported over to the Linux operating system. It's just not going to happen. New games from here on out, especially new major / popular games, yes, they will most likely be ported over to the Linux operating system, but all your old games, you still need Windows. And for now, the SteamOS does not play well with a Windows installation. So that's one of the good things about typical Linux distributions is that they sit alongside Windows just fine. They run a grub loader that you could load both or either of the operating systems just fine, and they live in harmony. As I've seen on a few YouTube videos and a few blog posts of people who have actually installed the SteamOS, it does not run alongside Windows, which Steam said that should be fixed by the time they do a full release. So there are a lot of things that are definitely going to be changed. Even a couple weeks after this video is made and introduced, it's probably going to be completely different. But for now, I just see too many things that are wrong with this SteamOS and this Steambox endeavor. And I just don't know why Steam is doing this. They already have the PC market completely surrounded. There are no competitors. I mean, there are a few other markets, but Steam is the majority. And I know they're trying to make their reach even farther, but I just don't see the need in having a Steam inside the living room. Steam belongs in our dungeons, running on our game PCs and running on our major rigs. And the only thing that I can see that will save this is that dead sexy, awesome controller that they're introducing. That thing looks awesome. I've seen demos of it. It just is an awesome device. That is the thing that will save the SteamOS. If it's compatible with Windows, I would just buy one just to play with it. It looks like a vastly superior object compared to the other controllers, and that's what I'm really excited for. And I mean, if they make these changes that are positive to the SteamOS, I think that will be amazing. I mean, I am definitely a Linux proponent. I love Linux. I love open source. I really like the direction that they're going in. And for me, I have extra PCs laying around. I'm in the IT business. I mean, I have more computers running in my house than I know what to do with. So I will probably have a machine that runs SteamOS and that has a little graphics card in it, just so I can play video games with, my son and my wife. I think that's an amazing idea. But I just don't see the average person shelling out another $400 to $500 whenever they can just buy an Xbox One and it will do everything out of the box. They don't have to worry about game compatibility, and it just works. So I mean, I wish Steam all the luck in this, and I really hope they they change my mind and they introduce something that will blow me away, and then I would give $400, $500, $800 to. I hope that happens, but for now, I just see too many hurdles and I see too many stumbling blocks that I don't think they can overcome, and I just don't see the market for it, and I ultimately see this kind of fizzling away and Steam looking at it as something that will work in the future or that can work if this or that happens, but as it stands right now, I just don't see it happening. Thank you guys so much for listening again. I really appreciate every single view and every single like and subscription on this channel. I'll continue to pump out more stuff if you continue to watch. And Blindside out, and I'll see you on the next episode.